Transcript of 1 minute ago. Supreme Court strips Rachel Reeves of her £4.6 million fund scandal on live TV. Rachel Reeves just lost everything. Live, on national television, Britain watched as the Supreme Court delivered a ruling so devastating it sent shockwaves through Parliament and left the country furious. The Chancellor of the Exchequer, the so-called champion of fairness, was exposed, caught red-handed hiding £4.6 million in secret offshore trusts while lecturing the rest of us about paying our fair share. And this wasn't just a slap on the wrist. The court stripped her of a hidden fortune she thought she could bury forever. Rachel Reeves is finished, and the fallout is only just beginning. This isn't some minor political misstep. This is betrayal on a scale that tears right through the heart of the nation. The same woman who has hammered ordinary families with inheritance tax hikes was secretly building a financial fortress for herself. Offshore accounts, Luxembourg pension funds, Cayman shell companies, the full dirty toolkit. While hardworking families were forced to sell their homes to pay tax bills, Rachel Reeves was making sure her estate safely locked away in the shadows. For years, Reeves stood on camera with a straight face telling Britain these harsh tax laws were necessary. Necessary for fairness. Necessary to fix the system. Necessary to make the rich pay their share. But now we know the truth. The people she targeted weren't the billionaires or corporate elites. It was you, the shopkeeper in Manchester, the nurse in Bristol, the dad in Sheffield who inherited his mum's house and lost it to the taxman. All the while, Reeves's own family properties were being funneled into shadowy trusts in Jersey, untouchable by HMRC. And here's the kicker. Court documents reveal some of these offshore trusts were set up just months before Reeves announced her infamous inheritance tax freeze. She knew exactly what she was doing. She didn't just take advantage of a loophole, she engineered the loophole and then slithered through it herself. While the threshold stayed frozen at £325,000 and property values soared, working families who never considered themselves wealthy were suddenly hit with brutal six-figure tax bills. Some sold their homes. Some went into debt. Others lost everything. And all the while, Rachel Reeves sat in her office writing the very laws she knew she'd never have to follow. Then came the whistleblower, someone inside HMRC who had finally seen enough. They brought forward evidence so explosive, so detailed, the Supreme Court had no choice but to act. Internal memos, offshore transfers, backdated property deeds, emails showing Reeves giving explicit instructions to her advisors on how to shield her estate. This wasn't a mistake. It wasn't an oversight. It was a cold, calculated scheme by someone who understood the system better than anyone and used that knowledge to protect herself from the very laws she weaponized against the public. The court didn't hesitate. There was no soft warning, no token fine. In a historic ruling described as unprecedented, the Supreme Court ordered a full seizure of Reeves's undeclared assets, over £4.6 million. Her offshore trust dissolved, pension accounts frozen, property stripped in real time as the cameras rolled. It was swift. It was brutal. And for millions of overtaxed, exhausted working-class Britons, it was the moment they'd been waiting for. But the nightmare for labor didn't stop there. The court's transparency mandate forced the release of every single document, and what they revealed sent Westminster into full-blown panic. Multiple shell companies funneling cash through a cousin's name, a luxury London flat registered to a domestic management company with no employees. A last-minute Jersey asset transfer completed just 48 hours before Reeves unveiled her inheritance tax policy. This wasn't just tax evasion. This was a senior labor figure writing the rules while actively dodging them, laughing in the faces of the very people she swore to protect. And she did it with a smirk, with sanctimonious lectures, with that sugary labor rhetoric about fairness and supporting working people. But when it came to her own fortune, she locked it away, untouchable, while yours was picked apart pound by pound. This wasn't just hypocrisy. This was an unforgivable betrayal. Now labor is in freefall. The spin machines are in overdrive, scrambling to contain a scandal that has already spiraled beyond their control. Rachel Reeves is politically dead, but the damage she's inflicted on her party and the public trust may be permanent. The mask has been ripped off. The so-called guardian of fairness has been exposed as just another greedy operator hiding behind empty promises. This is a kind of political meltdown that shakes a country to its core. The public won't forget. They won't forgive.